In the late 2000s, it was nearly impossible to walk into an electronics store and not see Acer's signature logo stamped across multiple laptops and desktops. Budget-conscious shoppers reach for Acer devices with confidence. College students, small businesses, and families all turn to this once giant for one simple reason: they got the job done without draining the wallet. By 2009, Acer held over 13% of the global PC market, making it the world's second largest computer manufacturer after HP. That moment was more than a sales figure. It symbolized the arrival of Asian tech companies as serious contenders on the global stage. Acer's climb wasn't an overnight success. It was a result of decades of strategy, timing, and a sharp understanding of a specific type of customer, the practical buyer. However, what was once Acer's greatest strength eventually became its biggest weakness. The company's dependency on affordability and imitation left it vulnerable in a world where consumer behavior evolved and where loyalty, emotion, and user experience became just as important, if not more, than price. Today, Acer's still around, still building computers, and still visible in many markets, but the name no longer holds the power it once did. Its decline is not due to bad products or poor engineering. It's a story of missed opportunities, shifting expectations, and danger of not adapting fast enough. Acer's journey started in 1976 in Taiwan under the name Multitech International. In a modest garage, Stan Shi and a small team of engineers and business professionals pulled $25,000, roughly $135,000 in today's money, and began as a consulting and electronics distribution company. While many tech startups of the era struggled to find footing, Multitech benefited from its founders' professional expertise and Taiwan's growing role in global manufacturing. In the early 1980s, the company released the MP F1, a compact, cassette-like computer priced at just $150. Unlike the bulky machines of the time, this affordable device was accessible and easy to use. It was a sleeper hit, remaining in production for more than a decade. But rather than chasing innovation, Multitech made its next move by copying. The microprocessor 2 replicated Apple's design while adding support for Chinese characters. The microprocessor 3 followed, mimicking the IBM PC, but at half the price. This value-first approach proved to be a reliable path to growth. In 1987, the company adopted a new name, Acer. The timing couldn't have been better. In the 1990s and early 2000s, tech innovation exploded. Processors became faster, memory cheaper, and the internet turned computers from workplace tools into household necessities. But this rapid evolution had a side effect. Machines became obsolete quickly. Consumers found themselves buying new computers every few years, and the idea of paying premium prices for short-term devices didn't sit well with many. Acer seized this moment. By delivering dependable machines at unbeatable prices, the company found its golden niche. While others battled to produce bleeding-edge innovations, Acer focused on functionality and price. For many users, that was enough. The company's ability to offer acceptable quality at low cost made it a global favorite. From 2003 to 2009, its market share more than quadrupled. Laptops like the Aspire series were seen everywhere, from classrooms to airports. The company even experimented with netbooks and small form-factor PCs, adapting quickly to consumer needs. Acer became synonymous with good enough, and in an age of disposable electronics, good enough was perfect for millions. But while Acer was rising, something critical was missing: brand identity. Its competitors were not just making computers, they were building communities, cultures, and ecosystems. Apple created a premium design-forward image and locked users into its ecosystem. From MacBooks to iPhones to iPads, Lenovo inherited the ThinkPad line from IBM, earning a reputation for business durability and keyboard excellence. ASUS dug deep into gaming and performance, launching the Republic Gamers ROG series, which eventually became a cultural movement in the gaming world. These brands created emotional connections. Acer didn't. There were no cult favorite product lines, no signature innovations, and no strong sense of what it stood for beyond being affordable. And then came the tipping point. Three major shifts rocked the PC market in the 2010s. The smartphone boom changed everything. People weren't just upgrading because they had to. They wanted the latest features, cameras, and designs. Tech became exciting again, and PCs started feeling dull. Apple rode this wave with the MacBook Air in 2008, combining form and function in a way that sparked joy. By 2012, even entry-level computers handled everyday tasks with ease. For many users, there was no point chasing specs. Chromebooks and cloud computing stripped the PC down to the basics: portability, battery life, and connectivity. A powerful device with weak user experience was no longer enough. COVID-19 redefined what it meant to need a computer. Laptops became lifelines for remote work, online learning, telehealth, and even social interaction. In this new world, reliability and comfort mattered more than price. A computer wasn't just a tool, it became a part of everyday life, and consumers were willing to invest more in it. In response, Acer introduced the Predator series, its boldest attempt to rebrand and enter the high-performance gaming segment. The machines were powerful, edgy, and featured all the flashy RGB lighting gamers craved. There was even a dedicated Predator logo and website. But it was too little, too late. ASUS ROG line had already built a fanbase. Gamers weren't just buying hardware, they were joining a tribe. ASUS sponsored esports tournaments, partnered with streamers, and built an entire ecosystem that made fans feel like they were part of something special. Predator, by comparison, felt like an outsider. It had the gear, but not the following. Meanwhile, Dell and HP doubled down on business reliability and support. Lenovo expanded in enterprise and education. Apple created seamless ecosystems that kept users locked in. ASUS made gaming gear with style and swagger. Acer remained a brand without a tribe. Even the education market, where affordability once gave Acer an edge, began shifting toward Chromebooks, often made by the same manufacturers but branded under HP or Lenovo, with better institutional support. In Asia, particularly in Taiwan and China, value-based shopping is deeply ingrained. For decades, cheap but good was a point of pride. But in the West, branding plays a much bigger role. Identity, lifestyle, and loyalty drive purchasing decisions, especially for younger consumers. Millennials and Gen Z don't just buy products, they buy into brands. They want sustainability, aesthetics, social responsibility, and stories. In this arena, Acer lagged far behind. Even companies like Framework, a startup offering modular, repairable laptops, began attracting attention for aligning with modern values. Acer's efforts to promote environmental initiatives or support user repairability received little fanfare, because by then, the audience had stopped listening. Absolutely, Acer isn't doomed. It still sells millions of devices globally. It still innovates in certain areas, such as lightweight, swift laptops, or its Concept D line for creatives. But these efforts lack clear branding and market penetration. To stage a comeback, Acer needs to pick up a lane and own it. Whether that's sustainable tech, educational devices, budget gaming, or ultra-light laptops, the key is clarity. Competing on price alone won't work anymore. The game is over. Instead, the next chapter for Acer should focus on building community, crafting identity, and delivering a brand promise that's more than affordability. Acer's rise was built on understanding the needs of an era when price ruled above all. Its decline came from failing to see that people don't just buy computers, they buy experiences, values, and identities. In a world saturated with options, the brands that survive are the ones that stand for something. For Acer, the story isn't over, but if it wants to matter again, it must do more than build decent machines. It must build meaning.